Dave Olson. Oh, sorry, I missed one. Aloe Conson. Is it even plausible that another civil war could ever kick off? There's not enough physical separation between the two warring factions of modern America to permit anything like a recognizable war for territory. Absolutely correct. I saw somebody making an argument just a couple days ago that basically said that during the Civil War, both sides spoke the same language. Both sides basically went to church, worshiped the same God. Both sides had very nearly the same moral code in terms of what they thought was decent warfare and indecent warfare. Both sides had a shared pride in their history as Americans. Both sides had so much in common. What separated them was the physical territory, and it separated them because you could grow cotton in the South and you couldn't grow it in the North, and cotton needed slaves, and that's why you had the Civil War. And the person went on to say that today, the degree of civility that existed in the Civil War is gone. The degree of commonality of experience that existed during the Civil War is gone. Certainly the degree of pride in our shared past is gone. The uniformity of the language is gone. The idea that we'd all study the same things is gone. We are much more prone for civil war today than we were in 1860, except for the fact that the Civil War consists of people who think differently, and it's not a question of North versus South. It's a question of the guy in lane 2 and the guy in lane 3 on the 405. They have completely different opinions, and they can't live under each other's rules. They've decided it's over. And they are so completely intermixed. I mean, I don't know what is the biggest, somebody's going to tell me, in the last election, in the Trump-Hillary election, what was the biggest margin of victory in terms of states? Let's say it's 70-30. I don't know that Hillary carried more than 70% of any particular state. So let's just say that's like the cap. That still means that 3 out of 10 people in that state are on our team. You know? It's like the rebels and the Yanks are all completely mixed up in that what it's like the guy next to you the guy in front of you in line at the grocery store has slaves and you don't, and all of these things are completely homogenized in terms of geography, but they become more and more sort of dislocated in terms of morality. And he also included a map between what the U.S. looked like at the verge of the Civil War in 1861 to what 2016 looks like, and there's some similarities there. But this is why things are getting so rancorous, you know, because we don't have the ability to separate ourselves from each other. We don't have the ability to do it. They try their level best, which is why I've never once heard a story ever. I've never heard a story personally where somebody said, "You voted for Obama, you're dead to me." I've heard lots of people say, "You voted for Obama and I think you're an idiot," or "You voted for Obama and I think that's a mistake," or "You voted for Obama and you know, it was not a really, you know, how could you, you know?" But I've never heard anybody say, "You're dead to me." But the left says this all the time. You could be your sister. Found out your sister 40 years is voted for Trump, and the leftists will say, "You're dead to me. Don't talk to me anymore. I cannot be in contact with you." That's a psychological issue. It's a major psychological disease. But that's where we are right now, and it's getting worse. And it's going to get worse until we have to deal with the threat that is greater than... Until we have to deal with a threat, period, full stop. We can afford this kind of bickering and this kind of outrage and this kind of, he should be forced to resign and stuff. We can deal with this because we're utterly secure. We have no worries whatsoever. If we were really worried, if we were really at war, if we were really threatened, as we have been throughout our entire history, then we would have bigger things to worry about. But If we are designed to worry at a certain level. And if we're worrying about World War III, if we're worried about Adolf Hitler, if we're worried about all of these things, we're worrying at this level, but you take those things away, and now we start worrying about, is this latte with soy milk or almond milk, or I ordered sourdough and not this white bread. Why are you trying to kill me? Or you drew a picture of something that made me cry. These are the sounds of people with nothing better to do than sit around and bitch at each other. Okay, last one.